Michigan Out of Doors Online is brought to you in part by...
For over 30 years, Vanguard Outdoors has made the gear that turns a regular hunt into another fine day of field. We know that a good shooting stick or a nice pair of binoculars can make or break your day. Our design teams include serious hunters who work hard to bring you the best sporting optics, shooting sticks, tripods, bags, and more. We are Vanguard Outdoors.
Hello everyone, welcome to Michigan Out of Doors. We're so glad you're here this week. I'm Jenny Sialik and we've got an exciting show headed your way. I'll take you out on the shores of Lake Huron for a picture-perfect morning of chasing after some Coho salmon. You won't want to miss that story. We had a blast out there that day. And Jimmy and Jordan have some other fishing excitement in store for us this week too.
Well, that's right, Jenny. We do have another story on this week's show. We're excited to hit the east side of the state with your story, but we're also going to hit the west side of the state, head over towards Grand Traverse Bay and show you what it looks like to catch some Cisco and some lake trout. Make sure you stay tuned. Lots of good stuff on this week's show. I'm Jimmy Gretzinger, and it's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes. Here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan, Michigan out of doors.
What a beautiful day in the woods.
Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy, the wonder and the love of Michigan. As the wind comes whispering through the trees, the sweet smell of nature's in the air. From the Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream, it's a love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by
Country Smokehouse, a sportsman's destination since 1988, featuring varieties of homemade sausage, jerky, brats, and gourmet entrees. Holiday gift boxes can be assembled in-store or online. Details at countrysmokehouse.com.
By Great Lakes Firearms and Ammunition, a family-owned and operated firearm manufacturer in Sparta, Michigan, offering a wide variety of calibers and colors, backed by a lifetime warranty. More information available at glfallc.com.
By Angler Quest Pontoons, offering fishing pontoons designed by anglers for anglers. Angler Quest pontoons are built with a multifunctional layout to support a variety of fishing adventures. Learn more at anglerquestpontoons.com.
A few weeks back, I was able to spend a day on the water with a couple of anglers targeting Cisco and lake trout in one of the more beautiful areas in the entire state, Grand Traverse Bay.
Here we are on Grand Traverse Bay. We're on East Bay currently, where we're going to go out and fish shallow water, targeting lake trout and Cisco. It's a short run each year. It's about a month each year. You can go out in shallow water and target these fish between about 30 and 60 feet deep. They're very productive every year. It's a pretty consistent bite.
We fished 20 to 30 foot of water yesterday, so we caught probably 20 to 30 fish, lost maybe about the same amount. A lot of Lakers, a lot of Cisco, about 50-50 mix of each. Covered a lot of water, and we ended up finding a bunch of fish on kind of a shallower reef. So we're fishing half-ounce heavy hitters. They're a tungsten jigging spoon, which allows us to downsize their presentation. And Cisco's have really small mouths, and so it's advantageous to have a smaller spoon. And these tungsten spoons really give us an advantage for those. When you're fighting them, you got to be really, really careful because they've got soft mouths, so you just kind of baby them in. Like another Cisco.
It's like a nice fish here. Oh, not ready yet. They fight pretty good for their size. There we go.
We started catching fish almost immediately, and the action was pretty steady throughout the morning. Although early summer is the best time of year to target these fish in shallow water, you can catch them throughout the summer and even into the fall.
Here on Grand Traverse Bay this time of year, it's a really great time to be out here. It's one of the few times of the year that you can actually fish shallow. You know, the shoreline water temperature will warm up first, and because of that, it'll draw in Cisco and lake trout. You know, even smallmouth. You know, I've caught whitefish out here, and it's one of the few times of the year you can catch all these fish within the same water column basically. They'll leave the bay July and August, but usually around Labor Day, a little bit after Labor Day, they'll kind of start working their way into the bay, and it sets up for a great fishery in the fall. And lake trout season closes here October 1st. So starting October 1st, I'll pretty much only be doing Cisco charters, as long as the weather permits. In the fall, it's more of a trolling bite. It's a great bite. I mean, about 20 to 40 fish is your average catch. So if you want to, fill the cooler up and get a good mess of fish in your freezer for the winter, it's a great time to come out here.
Although the fish were biting, the wind was making it difficult to cast very far from the boat, which led us to reposition the boat several different times in order to cast more effectively.
It's a little windy. Obviously, we're rocking and rolling a little bit, but we're catching fish. You got to kind of cast downstream or upstream of the boat, or upwind or downwind of the boat, due to obviously lack of feel. If you cast sideways, you get a big bow in your line, so it'll be advantageous to fish directly downwind or upwind for sensitivity, feeling your bites. And there we go. There's one on.
Oh, that's probably a laker right there, huh?
Yeah, that might be a laker. A little angry. Yeah, we're just kind of ripping it up about 2 foot, working the jigs back to the boat. You can vertical jig these, but I find I actually catch a lot more fish when I pitch them out from the boat, and really control your fall rate. So you want to select the right weight. If you're fishing like 20 foot and less, you fish 1/2 ounce. If you're fishing, let's say 20 to 40 foot, 3/4, and then 40 foot plus, I usually fish 1 ounce. And you can change that depending on line diameter and whatnot, but it gives you kind of a hard, fast rule starting point for you.
Although the tackle needed for this style of fishing is very basic, there are a few tips and tricks that these guys shared to help you put more fish in the net.
For the main line, I like to run a braided line, where a lot of the water we're fishing, 20 to sometimes 60 feet deep doing this, and then you need a braided line so you have like a tight connection to your bait. You can feel what's going on, and if you're using a monofilament backing, there's just too much stretch in that line to get the correct action that you need out of that bait, and plus you'll miss a lot of your hits if you run a monofilament. So if you're coming out here, definitely use braided line, and then I use it around about 20-pound test. Then I'll run it down to fluorocarbon leader, which is usually 10 to 14 pound. You want something a little bit stronger, because we do have like zebra mussels out here. So if you're running your line along that, you want something that's going to withstand the markings of running your line across that. And then for the terminal tackle, I like to use a small snap swivel.
The main thing is why we use a snap on these. They're such a hard material that if you tie direct to this, when this comes down on a rock, it pinches between your line and the rock, or between the lure and the rock, and it cuts your line. So always use a snap swivel on these. And as you can see, I just run a snap. I don't run the swivel on there. You do get some line twist. What you can do is troll really slowly with your line out behind the boat, and that line twist will come out automatically if you get too much line twist from fighting fish. But yeah, having that free movement too. I don't like the kind that pinches, that has like an angled part. I like the rounded one because it allows that front of the spoon to wobble more. And these spoons actually act with a swivel on there. They act more like a blade bait than they do a spoon. They've got a really erratic action on the lift. And so just retaining that action with the snap is absolutely key. And then you'll see I've got a leader. If it was any calmer, I might even run a longer leader, but I run about a 5-foot leader. And you'll notice here I've got a braid to fluorocarbon knot, and I like an Alberto knot, but whatever knot you're comfortable tying that you know is going to hold is all you really need. I don't like swivels because they tear up your guides, and we run long enough leaders to where we'd have to reel the swivel in through our guides, so don't want a swivel on there. Lighten him up. He's got the hot hand.
Got the hot hand right now.
Yeah.
Grand Traverse Bay at its finest. Looks like we got didn't get a good glimpse of it yet.
It's so much fun coming up here and just tearing up fish. It's like a Cisco.
Yep, another Cisco here.
Come here, little fella.
There we go. Nice. There we go.
These guys both work in the fishing industry, one as a charter captain and one on the tackle side of things. And although it can be challenging, both of them enjoy what they do.
Yeah, it's been an absolute riot. I wouldn't change a thing about it. I absolutely love working in the fishing industry. I used to work in like the hardware industry, and everyone comes in with something broken and they're not happy, right? And in the fishing industry, they're always happy. They're always headed out to do something they're passionate about. So it's a whole different mindset, and I'm very fortunate to be able to work in it for as long as I have. I ran a shop for 6 years, and then I started getting into making tackle 5 years ago, actually. And so yeah, I've got a lot of background in it, and I've been fishing since I was 3 years old or so. So it's definitely something I'm passionate about. Wouldn't change a thing for the world. Kind of feeling a little bit like a Laker. Staying down. Come say hi, little fella.
Not yet, I guess, huh?
Nope. He's like, nope, I don't like that boat. I don't want nothing to do with those guys. They're no good. I really like it because you don't see a lot of boats around. It's kind of secluded. You've got it most of the water to yourself. It doesn't get overfished. You can come out here even if you're not a super knowledgeable fisherman and usually put some fish in the boat. It's relatively easy fishing, and it's gorgeous scenery. And you know, you drop the wife off at the wineries and come out here on the water and have a great time. So it's a great destination to come fish.
What a great day on the water. The fishing was so good that before it was all said and done, I was able to land a few myself, which doesn't happen very often. Special thanks to Michael and Tyler for letting me tag along on a fun day of fishing here on Grand Traverse Bay.
That might be the big fish of the day right there. There you go, Jordan. You're only gonna get one. That's the one. I think that is a big fish.
There are so many different fishing opportunities to be had here in Michigan in the springtime. One that you might not know about is the Coho salmon run that happens in the southern part of Lake Huron this time of year. We headed out of Lexington Harbor to check it out.
Good morning.
Good morning. Tell me what's happening today.
Today we're going to go try and get some cohos out here. Possibly a mixed bag, maybe a couple walleye or lake trout or maybe even a king or something like that.
All right, but this is the time of year to target coho?
Definitely is first of the spring is the best time out here.
All right, who are we going with?
We're going with Tim Cook, a good buddy of mine.
Dan and Tim headed out onto Lake Huron on this picture-perfect morning, and Tim talked about what type of water to look for when targeting coho.
Usually, two of the most important things are water clarity as well as temperature. Obviously, when the water is dirty, it'll be warmer, but it can be so dirty that the fish can't see the baits to hit them. So in that case, you fish the edges of mud lines out, and it may be deeper than you want to fish, but those fish will hang in there and come out and bite the baits into the clear water. The best fishing, in my opinion, is anywhere from 10 to, let's say, 18 feet. Long line body baits, mono lines, maybe 100, 150 back off of each side. Seems to be in this dirty water that the last couple times out they've been preferring long lines, no dipsies, no riggers or anything like that, so we're going to go strictly long lines.
How deep are we?
We are in 11 feet of water this morning right now. All different kinds of stick baits. We've got some Rapalas, we've got some thin fins, pretty much all just coho baits. A lot of orange you'll see, a lot of orange. Any kind of stick baits that will dive anywhere from common depths are, let's say, 3 to 6 feet. You can always attach a weight to a line or put it on a copper or a lead core. You can use divers with spoons. Again, shallow water, I prefer anywhere from like 10, 18 feet. Anywhere along this shore from Port Huron all the way up to north of Port Sanilac, you can find these cohos. And it's usually a short bite, like maybe 2 to 4 weeks, and then they just exit this area and keep heading north.
Fish
Yeah,
on?
grab that fish on.
All right. Yeah, it's shaking. Something's shaking.
Tim's favorite lure right here.
Something's shaking. Little coho. Jimmy Bud. There's one.
All right, one in the box.
Tim, what lure did that come on? You know the name of that one?
Halloween.
Halloween.
What do we have here?
We've got an Atlantic salmon.
Wow. Beautiful. All right, we'll take it, hey?
Yeah.
First one of the day.
Cool. Nice work, guys. You got a fish on?
We got a fish on.
What's it feel like?
Feels like a coho. Little pull there.
All right. This will be number 2. Oh. Oh. Jumped right out of the net.
That's a coho.
Nice job.
All right.
Beautiful fish, eh?
Green tint across the back.
Good job, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
What makes it a coho? How do you know?
Okay, so white gums, white inside of the mouth, and just this teal colored like across the back. And if he was to hit the deck, almost half the scales would come off.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Very common.
We had 2 fish in the box and another one on. The morning bite was heating up.
Is that the same bait, Dan?
No. That's the first time your side went there too.
One of the things we like doing is setting up a competition. Like Dan or whoever's fishing with me, they can have one side of the boat and decide which lures to run, and then I'll take the other side, and those rods will be mine. And at the end of the day, we're trying to see who can catch the most fish on their side. It also makes you put a little bit more effort into it because you do want to beat the other guy.
All right, they're snapping now, looks like.
Yeah, doing better.
Tim and Dan were into the fish, and it seemed like as soon as they boated one and reset the line, another rod would go off, and the friendly competition was heating up along with the bite. These guys have been fishing buddies for a long time now and definitely have their routine down pat.
It was my side of the boat that took another bite over here.
We're gonna play that game, eh?
But whose boat is it?
You know, it's Tim's.
Well, Dan and I started fishing quite a few years ago now. I would say probably somewhere between 10, 15 years ago. And he was just a young buck coming in the bait store and Anderson's Pro Bait there in Port Huron. And a lot of us congregate in there, and he was looking to go fishing a few times. And he's turned out to be a good friend, good guy to fish with, and we have a lot of fun with him.
This next fish in the net was yet another species and wreaked a little havoc on the lines on its way in. But the guys were happy with a steelhead in the boat.
Yeah, we just caught a fish and just resetting the rod, and then we had an outside board go off on the other side with a nice steelhead.
And he went across another line?
Yeah, he caught into another line, but everything's back out now.
Great work. Boy, is this what you were expecting out here today?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Cool.
Bite's getting better.
Yes, sir. Good deal. All right.
So this coho fishing has gained a lot of popularity. The other side of the state, the west side of the state, St. Joe's is known for their coho fishing. And so we're kind of like in the beginning stages of getting like that. But if you learn the trade and you learn the area, you can produce just as many fish on a box on Lake Huron as you can out of St. Joe's.
All right.
All right, you're on the board, Jenny.
Nice.
All right.
Cool. Yes.
Yes,
Lake
ma'am.
Huron Coho.
All
That's
right.
what we came for. The guys were gracious enough to let me reel one in after I bumped a few off. So thank you.
Yep.
Awesome day out here. Beautiful. And a lot of people right now are walleye fishing, right? So you'd rather do this?
Yeah, I'd much rather do this. There's plenty of time to walleye fish. Like I said, these cohos are only here for a short period of time, so you play the weather, you play the water clarity. Sometimes you gotta jump on your motor and go find something that's better, but usually you can find the water you want to fish and you will be successful. It is definitely doable to come out, spend a nice day with the sun and small waves hopefully, and produce a nice box of fillets for your family. Cohos are excellent eaters in the spring coming out of the cold water. The meat is relatively firm and very, very mild.
What's that for the day now? What do we have?
Number 6.
Okay, cool.
Got 4 coho and 1 Atlantic, 1 steelhead.
Nice. Good day.
Right, that is beautiful.
Tim says the coho fishery here on Lower Lake Huron is relatively new. He's been fishing these waters for most of his life now.
I would say probably close to 40 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Have they always had coho out here?
No, probably that's something that has been introduced probably in the last 10 years.
Okay. And what do you like about this kind of fishing?
Oh man, just being able to stay close to shore, using long lines and stuff like that. Not so complicated as deep water king fishing. You know, the baits are easier. You don't need as extreme of equipment. And I think you, numbers-wise, can really catch a nice box of fish with this.
Yeah, there we go. What a day, hey?
Yeah, it's a good day today. Oh.
A good day indeed. The weather cooperated, the fish were active, and the company was stellar. Special thanks to Tim Cook and Dan Antozowski for the absolutely perfect morning on Lake Huron. Today was a great reminder of just how blessed we really are to have these amazing natural resources and pristine waters in our own backyards here in Michigan's Out of Doors. Thank you so much for joining us this week for Michigan Out of Doors. Make sure you come back in upcoming weeks. We've got a lot of great springtime action headed your way. We'll be headed down to the southeast part of the state for the walleye run that's happening down there. You won't want to miss that. We'll also be setting our sights on the upcoming turkey season that's just around the corner. If you'd like to check out more about the show or see where we are and what we're up to on a daily basis, you can always do that online.
Well, that's right, Jenny. Online is a good way to kind of keep track of us. Probably Instagram and Facebook are the best ways to see what we're up to on a day-to-day basis. We're also on MichiganOutofDoorsTV.com. If you want to see one of our older episodes, you can check us out there. And make sure you are getting out and enjoying everything our state has to offer right now. A lot of good spring fishing happening, and we'll be out with cameras rolling, so make sure you're joining us next week right here on your PBS station.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by
Get away from it all to your own place. With Greenstone's recreational land loans, we'll help you finance acreage of any size so you can own your own place in the great outdoors. Greenstone.
By Greenmark Equipment. Greenmark Equipment is a John Deere dealership network in southwest Michigan and northern Indiana. Greenmark provides sales and services to farmers, commercial businesses, large property owners, and homeowners. Information about pricing and products available can be found online at greenmarkequipment.com.
Mid-Michigan Ponds has been building and maintaining ponds and lakes throughout Michigan for nearly 25 years. We combine biology and heavy equipment to make pondscapes that are sustainable and fishable. More information at midmichiganponds.com. By Network Outdoors, connecting members to share experiences, help grow businesses, and to give back to the outdoor community. Learn more at one of 10 monthly meetups or online at networkoutdoors.com. Closed captioning brought to you by Double D Ranch Foundation, a nonprofit 501c3 foundation working to make hunting and fishing accessible for those with disabilities.
When I wander far away, a dream stays with me night and day. It's the road that leads to my home state. I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the scene like rainbow trout in a hidden stream. The white-tailed deer in the tall pine trees. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love this land. I am a Michigan man. From the Keweenaw down to St. Joe, Kalamazoo, East to Monroe, to St. Marie and back again. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love